Growing up white, a citizen in a city renowned for its medical expertise, I had some pretty rosy ideas about becoming pregnant and having a baby. The beaming smiles and delighted squeals of friends and family, stepped-up concern for the mother-to-be's safety, sanity, and cocktail habits, 8 or 9 prenatal appointments, and endless preparations for the arrival of baby. The possibility of a pregnancy complication seemed remote at best and manageable at worst. Then I moved to a part of the country where very few people live in the bubble I once lived in. Racism, poverty, and rural situation changed the game of baby making in this vast desert mountain state. Unattended health issues such as diabetes and substance use disorder can and often do complicate pregnancy. New Mexico is a heavily BIPOC state where the nation's deplorable record of keeping moms healthy and alive plays out in real time. Year by year, the U.S. allocates a greater share of its economy to healthcare than any other country in the developed world. What do we get for this staggering expenditure? Not much. According to the Commonwealth Fund, the U.S. has the shortest life expectancy and the highest suicide rate among developed nations. Our maternal mortality ratio is almost off the chart. 17.4 moms die here for every 100,000 live births. In 2018, that was 658 women. Worse, U.S. maternal mortality rates are increasing. Worse still, Black, American Indian, and Alaska Native women are 2 to 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women. At this point, almost all states have a maternal mortality review committee, a group of experts who study maternal deaths and try to figure out what is causing this problem. That's actually how I met my preceptor, Dr. Sharon Phelan. Dr. Phelan helped to launch New Mexico's Maternal Mortality Review Committee and served as clinical chair until January of this year. In 2019, New Mexico's committee needed to tackle a backlog of case reviews, and they needed help obtaining medical records and law enforcement reports. I started scouting for records, and Dr. Phelan dove into records abstraction, developing case summaries for committee meetings. This is when Dr. Phelan noticed a pattern. Many New Mexico women who die while pregnant or soon afterwards have 1, 2, 3, or more encounters with emergency medical services along the way. Naturally, we wondered why, and this became the focus of my HECP project for Simmons University. 9 months and 21 stakeholder interviews later, we understand that there's nothing special about pregnant and postpartum women accessing emergency care. Many people living in the vast rural areas of this state depend on emergency care providers due to the absence or shortage of primary care providers, distance to care, financial barriers, lack of awareness of resources and entitlements, or fear and distrust of conventional healthcare providers. Even people living in comparatively healthcare-rich urban areas of the state may struggle with access to primary care due to unemployment, houselessness, abusive or neglectful relationships, substance use, mental health struggles, or again, fear or distrust of conventional healthcare providers. With this realization in hand, we wondered if emergency workers are adequately trained to attend to emergencies complicated by current or recent pregnancy. So far, we've found that most EMS workers in New Mexico are volunteers with inconsistent training related to obstetrics. Many male EMS workers are reluctant to handle obstetric emergencies or even fairly simple baby catching. We think part of the solution is meeting EMS workers and emergency department workers where they are, in physical space, in training, and attitude. Treating these people, mostly volunteers, with the respect and gratitude that they deserve, and emboldening and equipping them with as much expert support by phone or internet as the state's lumpy communications infrastructure can muster. We're also looking at much broader issues of perinatal regionalization, increased integration of midwives, doulas, and community health workers, and career pathing for EMTs in a community paramedicine model. But that's another story for another day.